Hello and welcome to episode 31 of Dunk's Movie Corner Podcast, or Dunk's Movie Corner, or Dunk's Movie Corner Pod, whatever you want to call it. If you've stumbled upon this, don't stumble away. If you are new, stick around. It's going to be probably 10-15 minutes of your life that might be more enjoyable because of it. Who knows? And if it's not, well, at least you know now. Either way, if you are new, this is kind of a companion podcast to the Movie Bros, which is a weekly episodic podcast where myself and my brother pick a movie, watch that movie, and discuss and ramble and banter about it. This is just a weekly kind of recap of what I watched that week in movies, TV, limited series, whatever. Just a quick little ramble. So if you want something more of an actual conversation, again, I would say check out the Movie Bros. But if you want, obviously, more content, there are 30 episodes prior to this, and I think we're coming up on almost 50 recorded for the Movie Bros, so I'd say you can always check that out. However, I don't want to ramble too much before I actually get into the movies and shows and stuff I want to ramble about. So, with that in mind, I started my week. Again, my phrasing for a week, sometimes my weeks end up being like 5 days, sometimes they might be 10. I aim for 7 for like recording, but life happens. Either way, I watched Conclave. This is a 2024 release. This has gotten a lot of award buzz. It's been nominated for a ton of Oscars. This is, what's his name? Ralph Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, John Lithgow. Those are the big main heavy ones, although the Isabella Rossellini was nominated as Best Supporting Actress, which I think she's on the screen for all of like 8 minutes. I don't think she's going to get it, but I understand the nod. She was great in it. This is about the Pope dying and then the process of electing a new Pope and how much like internal politics there are to that. I thought it was really good. I thought it was well shot. I was not expecting the ending at all. I don't think anyone was. They buried that pretty much into the last 2 minutes of the movie, which again, was it absolutely needed? I don't know if it was, but it was in there. I will also say I felt like if they committed to this being as real as possible to probably how the conclave of electing the Pope is, which sure I can appreciate, and it was interesting. However, this this setup and the way it was shot and like the tense music and the dialogue and everything, this made it feel like, oh, they really could, if they wanted to, they could have leaned into this being as like almost like a detective or a murder mystery of who killed the Pope and the like who would want him dead to become new Pope, and it felt like it hinged almost towards like was that Angels and Demons? Or was that no? Yeah, it wasn't Da Vinci Code. It was Angels and Demons, but that was kind of a thing. Either way, I enjoyed it. I would say check it out if you can. I believe it is on Peacock right now for free. And that was I'd call it a very solid 3.5 out of 5. Pretty good. I could see, actually, I think I'd call it a 4. I'd call it a 4 out of 5. And these ratings, folks, that I give, if you are new, this is where Letterboxd, which is a kind of a movie social media without the like brain rot, I feel like. It's just people reviewing, rating, logging their movies, and then you can see what other people are doing. And all the ratings are out of 5, including half stars, so that's how I do my ratings. From there, I went quite the different direction. And so, yes, that would be a 4 out of 5 for me because this next one is a 3 out of 5. This is 2008. This is Forgetting Sarah Marshall. They definitely just don't make this kind of movie anymore. Judd Apatow, I don't know if he's even making movies anymore, but I feel like Jason Segel, whatever his name is, from How I Met Your Mother, is super underrated. He's funny. He's very likable. He's musically inclined. Like there's a ton of this because in this movie he is a like a music producer. Like he makes piano music for a TV show that his now ex-girlfriend works on. Of course, they go to the same Hawaiian vacation spot, and she's there with Russell Brand. Does anyone like Russell Brand in anything, or just generally speaking? I feel like no one likes him. He doesn't play roles, or I don't know. He just gives off a vibe of just icky guy. Anyway, that was 3 out of 5. There's actually a lot of fun moments. There's a lot of bits with Jonah Hill is in it. He's been in a lot of Judd Apatow stuff, and I think he's really good. This is before he A, lost a lot of weight, and B, started doing more serious roles, which I'd say A, both of those things, good for him. That's great. I do like his more comedic side as well. Superbad, those kinds of movies, but I'm glad he's doing other things. Mila Kunis, oh my god, Jesus, that is speaking from like a primal young boy in 2008 who may have seen a promo for this or something. I'm sure I'd be like, oh my god, that's my wife. That's Jesus. Kristen Bell, like, I don't think she brought any. Granted, I don't know if the role really dictated for it, but I feel like she didn't bring anything new or anything interesting to her role as like the ex-girlfriend, and sort of has feel it was. Granted, I mean, the movie is not about her. The movie is about forgetting her, which means Jason Segel meeting Mila Kunis in Hawaii and trying to get over his ex, which I do kind of get these things. I mean, I feel like all of us at some point in life have had that kind of feeling. But that was 3 out of 5. The Men Who Stare at Goats. This came out in 2009. I was on a weird, not great movie kick, I guess. Because again, it's a 3 out of 5. It's dumb, sort of fun. Like, it's sort of almost Coen Brothers vibes, but not quite. The pitch, I don't want to get too far into the movie, because just in case you decide to watch this, it's the pitch. I would have loved to be in the room when someone tried to pitch this idea as a movie, starring like pretty well-known people: Ewan McGregor, Kevin Spacey, Jeff Bridges, and George Clooney. Those are pretty fucking big names, dude. And this is such a oddball movie for all of them to be in at the same time. So while it is only like a 3 out of 5, which is not a great score, but it's not a terrible score, I would say it is worth it to watch just to say, hey, I've seen that movie about the guys who stare at goats. Because, yeah, it's just a fucking weird one. From there, I jumped backwards in time a little bit to 2003. I should preface this, I've seen bits of this movie all over the place. I feel like a lot of us have seen lots of scenes from this movie, but I've never actually sat down and just watched it all. So I was waiting for, I think I was waiting for my brother to get done with something or show up to an event. Either way, I think I was just burning time. I was like, oh, I'll put this on. Why not? This is Love Actually, the like sort of Christmas. I mean, it's centered around Christmas, and there are some Christmas elements. I don't know if I'd super call it a Christmas movie, but this is the like 8 couples all just going through either good times or not, and literally the story basically jumps back and forth all over the place from, oh, this is great, oh, this is like super fucking sad. I'm glad I watched it all the way through. Did I watch this with cheese and crackers, and I was like, oh man, if I had a glass of wine right now, I feel like this is a whole fucking setup. Either way, it made me, I don't know, just, yes, all the sad parts are very sad, but definitely always, again, I think I've said this on previous episodes. If you're new, well, you're finding this out now, but I'm pretty impressionable with a lot of stuff. I mean, things I watch, sure, but just generally, I'm pretty impressionable. But the good parts, I'm like, oh man, love, yeah, let's go that. Hell yeah, brother. Like, it was I would say a fairly positive reinforcement into like good values like that, or at least hopeful values like that. From there, the next 3 movies, I mean, they are technically movies, but I'm going to lump them together, especially when I post this, because I don't want to say I watched 3 separate movies when each movie was like 1 to 4 minutes or something. These are from 1898, 1901, and 1909. This is George Méliès. So this is like, if you ever gone into like a deep dive of like the history of movies, this is like one of the like absolute pioneers, like the grandfathers of like before the modern era. Like, this is the guy tried like literally black and white film that he's painting each cell by hand, so like the clothes have color, and it's literally him painting every single frame, or like cutting and putting different parts together, so it's not just one linear story. Super cool. And I watched this because there is a earlier movie, I want to say from like 2009 or something like that, called Hugo, which is based about that director, with Ben Kingsley, and I believe that was directed by Scorsese, and it's very good. I just haven't seen it in a long time. And these shorts were just recommended on HBO Max. And I was like, oh, I've never actually seen any of the things that he made. I've only seen the movie about him, and they were fun. I mean, you have to. This is like well over 100 years ago, so it's just crazy how far both technology, but innovate, like all the things have gone. But again, you can definitely see like this is the blueprint for movies to a certain degree, even if it is only 5 minutes. So yes, this was the Prince of Magicians, Whimsical Illusions, and the Four Troublesome Heads. I mean, the Four Troublesome Heads was 1 minute. The Whimsical Illusions was 5 minutes, and the Prince of Magicians was 2 minutes. But I mean, they do fill those couple minutes. There's no like pausing for effect or anything. It's go 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 go. So it's cool. I would say if you have any interest in like the history of films, you'd always check that kind of stuff out. And I should mention, uh, me and the parents, because it's been an enjoyable time. We've been watching Skeleton Crew. It's on Disney Plus. It's in the Star Wars universe. I don't know how nerdy I want to get here, but it's post Return of the Jedi, pre The Force Awakens, and it's kind of like Space Goonies. It's fun. It's enough for adults that it's enjoyable, but it's definitely like, oh, I could see I could actually show this to a kid and they'd actually have a good time and not be scared. Some of the Disney Plus Star Wars stuff has been really good, like Andor. Some of Obi-Wan Kenobi was really good. Some of The Mandalorian was good. Even a smaller fraction of the Book of Boba Fett was good, but I feel like there's a lot of duds out there. There's some of that stuff that I'm like, oh, this is just not good. I'm not going to watch this. So I don't know. I go back and forth on that kind of stuff. Like I said this when we were watching. I was like, oh, I appreciate that. Like, hey, we're getting new content for the things that we love. You just have to keep in mind that some of that content might be good, some of that content might not be good. But at least you're getting like more story, which I appreciate. Either way, there's 8 episodes total. I think we're now on episode 7. So I mean, we watch an episode or two every couple weeks. It's just kind of a sort of bonding thing we do on the occasional Sunday evening. So I try to make time for that kind of stuff because I feel like it's important. Someone has referenced it. I think I saw an Instagram reel about this or something, but like, oh, if you're moving far away from family and you're like, okay, I'll see them once a year. Okay, that really means you're only going to see them 30 more times, 40 more times. And as I'm at least semi-local to my family, I feel like it's to a certain degree important to see them and interact with them and bond and still make memories because obviously they raised me. So not every single week, but every once in a while. So that amount of time that I'm seeing them, like 10x's basically almost. So that's what I've been doing. And then occasionally also I have been watching while I make lunch or like prep for the next day before I go to bed or whatever. I'll watch an episode of Batman the Animated Series. I I don't know why. This is just something I started watching. This is this series was on before I was a kid, but it's not like it's not like an old cartoon. I think it's like 90s ish. It's fun. It's very cheesy, and it's like you can kind of tell the end in the first 5 minutes of the 22-minute episodes. And there are some classics on it, and people regard it as like a very well for the time very well made like series, even outside of just being a cartoon. So every once in a while, I'll watch a 22-minute episode of that. And that I would say is kind of all I've watched this week. Some movies. Actually some shows now because I feel like I really just talk about movies on here, but yeah, if you have seen any of this and you think, hey, that stuff is good, you should check out this stuff, or if you think, hey, that stuff you've watched is not so good, you should watch this stuff instead, let me know. And again, like I said at the top, this really is just a quick little ramble. This is probably going to be like 13 minutes of your day. If you want something A, more substantial, B, a lot more of an actual conversation, and much better edited, if I will say so myself. Check out the Movie Bros. That is weekly and sometimes more than once a week if we do special episodes, Hayden and I, where we pick a movie, watch that movie, and kind of ramble and banter about it. Next week, this has been episode, I believe, 31 of Dunk's Movie Corner. And if you notice on Instagram, which is Dunk's Movie Corner Pod, I am slowly trying to make both this podcast account and the Movie Bros account semi more aesthetically pleasing, professional looking, whatever you want to call it. Not that I'm trying to throw a ton of time and it's literally any kind of actual like monetary amounts into it, but just something I've been trying to tweak with. So if you think that's cool, thanks. Yeah. Catch you all next week.